live. Hi, everybody.
We're live here.
We are live.
From
We were having some issues last week.
last week was
It was really rough. It took us a whole hour to get on in some weird, funky backdoor way. I was glad for it because it helped me go back into Ecamm and re-download it, and there's some new features. I don't know what happened. I was like, I don't know what I did, and I just was like, I think it's just what happens when things update sometimes. So, yeah. So we're here, and we have a new co-host. She is the strong, silent type, but she will be here joining us every week.
Yeah. Her name is Aegis.
Okay, and are you on? I'm gonna divert my attention momentarily while I ask you, how was your last week? I'm gonna get us up on my page. How was your last week?
Last week was pretty interesting. So last week
happened?
Last week was interesting. The children and I spent a few hours trying to figure out what we were going to do outside of the house. The funny thing about this COVID situation, and when the children are off of school, there are a few things you can do, right? Like skating and sledding, as long as it's private and you're adhering to social distancing and the rules. So a lot of people went for tobogganing and stuff like that. But with the sun going down as early as it does, you tend to be not prone to go out and do some of the things that you normally do. So what we decided to do was, instead of getting a bunch of places to skip over to the house or do anything, we decided that everybody got to pick their favorite fast food restaurant, and then we would go and pick up
whatever it was.
So Nariah, he loves Taco Time. He loves their super burrito. He gets it every time and picks out the tomatoes. And I say to him, hey, why don't you just keep the tomatoes? Why don't you just tell them no tomatoes?
He wants the flavor of the tomatoes, but he doesn't want to eat it.
Something like that. But he picks it out every time. And then, Nishan, he's my oldest, and he's tall and he's getting big. So he wanted a Baconator, and he was like, yeah, let me get a Baconator, Dad. And so he got the Baconator, and then I was like, oh, large size of drink. And then the drink came. He's like, look at this drink. He was so excited.
It's huge.
12 years old, getting the massive drink. Me and Nyla wanted to try Taco Time because she said she's afraid of Taco Time. That's why she never did it. So she wanted to face her fears.
Okay.
So she got a burrito as well.
How'd she do?
She told him no tomatoes, and she got what she wanted, which was great.
She enjoyed it?
Yeah, she really, really enjoyed her burrito. And then you have Nayana. And she is very, very particular about her what she wants to have to eat. So she tends to go towards the Asian persuasion of food. So she'll have noodles, or oodle noodle, or Edo Japan, or Smileys, or dim sum. That's where she'll go.
I like it.
Bourbon Street in Kingsway is what she wanted to get, but it was closed by the time we got over there. So I said, well, why don't we try Edo? And she was like, Edo? I don't know, Dad. I don't know. So we went to Edo. She ordered a bowl of noodles.
Did she enjoy it also?
Oh, man. She got extra sauce, and I gave her chopsticks. And she was like, "Ooh!" I give her a fork too, just in case.
Like it, yeah.
Back up. And she loved it. Everybody got their own drink, and we kind of had a good time out. And we drove around. We kind of did a kind of a wave by, because nobody's been able to see Grandma for a while. So getting to see Grandma from a distance was great. Grandma enjoyed every portion of that. Definitely because she got to see the grandkids. She brought ice cream. She said, "I have ice cream." She gave them a bag of ice cream inside there, which they loved. And then there's a box inside the bag. So inside the bag was a container of ice cream, and then inside the bag was also a container of cones. So they got to get some ice cream and ice cream cones. So it was really good, all in all. For my last week, it was pretty much the highlight was really just spending really good time with the children. So that's my best time.
So that, first of all, that sounds awesome. But Darren Hall says that he sees the new co-host as deeply rooted, and he goes, he guesses he should just leave her alone. He said he sees she's trying to branch out. The new co-host.
That's deep.
And he said he needs to settle down. After all, he's not a fun guy.
Go.
And he said, okay, but he's rooting for her. And then he says, "You grow, girl." So I wanted to share that because it was funny to me.
Okay, then you know what? I can't get mad at that at all.
Yep.
Good job.
Yes, and Greg wanted to know if that was when you went to see him the other day as well.
Yes, that's
when you assaulted the building.
We also came into the building and over there.
They move like a stealth team.
They do.
No, and
like a SEAL team.
They like crowd up behind you, and then
they fat up.
The boys come out, and then the girls come inside, and then the girls walk forward, and then the boys come in. It's like a whole situation.
It is. I have had numerous. One of my favorite stories that I tell, and I'll tell it. I might even told it on this show before.
Probably.
But I was at the park with them. I took them to the park right by. It's kind of behind our house in the field. Mm-hmm. And it was just me and them. We were hanging out in the park, and fresh air. Getting fresh air is important. And this is before COVID times. So we were out there, and they were playing and having a good time. They're on the slide. They were on the swings. They were on the bars. They have that slidey. I can't remember what it's called, but it slides from one side to the next. You grab onto it. So they're on that. They're having a great time. And we played tag, and we played a bunch of things, and I decided to go sit down. So I sat down at the park, and I was just chilling out. And all of our snacks and stuff, we had little picnic snacks there and everything, like drinks and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And the next thing you know, 2 police officers, female and male, walked up to me. And they were like, "Excuse me, sir." And I said, "Hey." Just sat there, my hand on the side. I was like, "Hey, what's going on? How you doing?" They said, "Yeah, we had reports of a guy, rapping loudly. He's there rapping."
Rapping?
Yeah, he was, or yelling loudly.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, yeah. And as I was saying it, I didn't realize that the children had formed a barrier around me. So the 2 girls came towards the bench and stood on either side of me, put their hand on my shoulder, and were ready for the go down.
You had to do, yeah.
And then the boys
just came. Say go. I'm ready to go.
And the boys came beside them. One stood behind the bench. One stood in front of the bench, and they were all just there, like, "Yo, what do you guys want with our dad?" And it was just and then I was like, "Yeah, I think I know who the person is that you're looking for." I said, "There's a guy. He is on the spectrum. He's autistic, and he listens to rap music, and he yells out the lyrics. Mm-hmm. So people who don't know who he is may find it threatening. So when you look, he's a very tall gentleman, and he looks like a grown man. Right. So that's probably the guy that you're looking for. So I said, just be aware that there might be an issue before they go out. I didn't want them to go out with their hand on their gun, which has happened. Right? Mm-hmm. And sure enough, as we went down, we saw the police further down later on with the same gentleman I was talking about. Mm-hmm. And they were just like, "Hi, how are you?" The whole way that they approached me was completely different.
Yeah.
Now that they had more information about the guy, right? So I'm glad that was de-escalated. But my children are always on the ready.
Yeah. They're with it. With the its.
What
you got over there? Anybody saying anything? We're gonna move on to the scroll. Move right on to the scroll.
Well, we got Tini in the house. We got a bunch of people ready.
Okay.
So everybody's locked and loaded.
Let us move on to the scroll.
The scroll.
I'm going to obviously talk about the stocks on Wall Street.
Let's hear about it. So those of you
take us a couple minutes.
Those of you who have not diversified your portfolio in stocks, and you might find this boring, you might find this very intriguing. Of course, I'm going to
make it fun.
Well, yes, but I mean, talking about stocks, some people just cancel out. When you say math, people are like, "Oh, math, I'm canceling." I did subscribe for this.
Here. Take my name off the list.
But this week on the stock market, let's talk about what happened.
Big things are gone. So, pretty much, you guys may just be like, know about what's going on with, or have heard GameStop stock has been going up and away. Mm-hmm. Essentially what happened is this guy named Deep Effing Value, but it's the whole word in the middle. Sorry. Okay. Deep fucking Value. He is on Reddit, and he is in a group called Wall Street Bets, where they pretty much take penny stocks and buy a whole bunch of penny stocks and drive the price up. Anyway, they realized that there's a situation with hedge funds where there are shorts. So essentially, there's a bunch of funds that sell a stock to its people before it buys the stock. And it's betting that the price of the stock is going to go down, and they'll be able to buy the stock at a cheaper price later and make the difference. So one of these stocks, a bunch of the stocks were kind of brought up in the group, but one of the stocks that was brought up was GameStop. And one of the things that they looked at was that GameStop actually has closed a lot of stores. So the remaining stores that are open actually are more profitable than they were before. And they had shorted this stock by 125%. Now, Elon Musk they always short Tesla. So he is a guy who hates this process. He thinks it's the biggest scam. So Elon Musk saw that they were planning on buying GameStop, so he went ahead and posted it on his Twitter, which is when it really blew up, and GameStop went from like 75 cents to like $5, and then all the way up to like $500, and I think it closed today at like $90-something. So the idea is that because these people have bought millions of stocks before they owned them, mm-hmm. at some point they are going to have to buy back the stocks in order to fulfill the orders that they had. And not only did they buy the stocks, like oversell the stocks, they oversold it by 125%. So they'll have to fulfill those stocks and then still buy back 25% of those stocks to be able to fulfill from other people that has oversold. So now in the process, while all of this is going on, they get in on it, and of course they are working for people. So people are calling and they're like, buy GameStop, but they've already shorted GameStop 125%. So what do? Bought more GameStop, shorted it more. So mm-hmm. they ended up shorting it I think 292%. And yeah, at last look, the stock went way down. I have a bunch of people who are holding. The plan is to buy and hold. And from what I also understand is there's like a fake silver squeeze going on. So pretty much they were supposed to like execute on these shares Friday. So they were trying to push to have everybody think that Friday is the day that the price of these stocks is going to go up. So clearly it didn't happen on Friday, but what happens is that every day that they don't fulfill on these stocks, they have to pay like a certain amount in interest. So they've been paying this interest, and it amounts to millions and millions of dollars in interest every day. So what they decided to do was go on ahead and they did a bunch of like market manipulation still, and like stopped retail purchases of the stock. You could only sell it, you couldn't buy it anymore, all kinds of stuff. So AOC went ahead and was like, this is ridiculous, like they're essentially blocking the small guy from being able to make money on the market, and that the Congress should pretty much be looking into it. So Ted Cruz came along, retweeted AOC, and was like, I agree with this, right? And so everybody was like, what? AOC and Ted Cruz like saying the same thing? That's nuts, right? But then I'm gonna go back to that. But then AOC retweeted Ted Cruz, and she's like, yeah, thanks, next time you want to help, resign.
Wow.
That was funny. So that was the end of that. But my point was that the fake silver squeeze, they were telling everybody that, the new squeeze is silver, so people would go out and buy silver, thereby liquidating money.
Wow.
And silver is one of the ways that these people have also, you might have heard of people talk about silver and gold, but there's like paper gold, and then there's physical gold, and there's paper silver and physical silver. So they've also shorted silver. Like they always try and sell silver when they're trying to get money in, and they give you a paper certifying that somewhere there's some silver that you own. But the way, if you're trying to mess with silver, is just to buy physical silver and actually take physical silver off of the market. So
Steve.
Yeah, sorry guys, that was a lot of stuff. I don't know if anybody got that or cared about that, but the whole point was to like disrupt these hedge funds and make them have to like spend billions of dollars to buy back these stocks that not only do they like bet on the company losing, they actually do things to make people dump the stocks so that the stock goes down so they can buy it. So some of you might watch Jim Cramer or at whatever MSNBC who is talking about stocks or whatever. So those are the ways that they help to manipulate the market. But I think no matter what happens now, the market will never be the same, because even Wall Street bets, like there's like maybe 2 million people when I heard about it, and then like literally the next day and the day after it was like 6 million people in there. It was like, dang.
Yeah.
Dang.
So for those of you who
you're like, oh, okay.
So for those of you, as I prefaced before, some people do pay attention to stock markets. Some people, couldn't care less about the stock market.
That's true.
But for those of you who do pay attention to the stock market, what she was talking about is so interesting, because it just shows that a bunch of people were going to make a bunch of money, or have the potential right now to make a bunch of money. And what we're talking about is if you had invested like $6,000, you have the potential to be in the $60,000 and up.
Yeah.
So
the guy who started it, I think he bought it at 75. He unloaded some stocks, but just even though the stock has gone down to $90, the plan is to buy and hold essentially. So I don't know if you're in this game. If you are, the plan is to buy and hold. Blackstone, I think it's called. BlackRock, actually. BlackRock Investments, which is one of the investment companies, and Fidelity, they own 30% and they are holding. So just so that you guys know, it's not like people aren't like, what? And the AMC stock is one of these hedge funds has bought 60% essentially of the stock as well. So the big guys are also in on it. People are like, oh, people are so dumb. They just think that they can. But even the big guys are paying attention to how this is working, essentially.
Yeah, and yeah. So paying attention to these things, for those of you who are diversifying your portfolio, I went to my bank account and I said to them, after hearing about this, I was like, you know what, I should really open up some sort of investment account with my bank. I'm a BMO. So I called a BMO and I said, my guy at BMO, I said, hey, can I get an investor account going? And he was like, yeah, for sure. We'll schedule something. You come in on Thursday. He goes, you have money you want to invest? And I'm like, no, I don't have any money that I want to invest yet.
I just want to have.
But I want to be prepared. I want to be prepared in case.
You're right.
Right?
Yeah.
You never know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to be prepared. And then he texted me later on that day and was like, hey, you already have an investor account? You opened up one in 2014 under a tax-free savings account, which you currently still have. So all you have to do is just call the investor line, and then once you call them, they'll be able to open it and you'll be able to do your thing.
Okay.
So I called the investor line today at 12 o'clock, and I finished the conversation at 5 o'clock. So they had me on hold for 3.5 hours.
Yep.
And they waited until the stock market closed. Hi, Ronald.
Hey, Ronald.
They waited till the stock market closed.
And then they started picking up phone calls.
And then they picked up the phone calls after the stock market closed.
And there's a lot of people who can't, they've blocked you from buying it. Mm-hmm. But not only have they blocked you from buying it, but they're still allowing the hedge funds to buy it. They're still allowing these big companies to buy it. So, yeah, it's just not fair. That's what people are saying in market manipulation. It's just not fair. And I hope it all falls. I hope that at the very least, these guys all have to go in front of Congress and they'll be held accountable. But
yeah,
I'm skeptic, but at the same time, I'm not, only because I feel like recently, hi Ronald, I feel like recently things things are being called in. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of things can't stand anymore.
The funny thing about the entire scenario is it was something that was going to be done privately. A lot of people were privately going to drive this market up for GameStop. GameStop is a company in the States, much like EB Games, much like Game City here in Edmonton.
There's no GameStop here?
No.
Oh.
So GameStop doesn't really do a lot of games, and with Microsoft and Sony, PlayStation moving to a more digital market, more people are getting digital. More children are getting digital games. Back in the day, you could get a bootleg game from the flea market. In the States, you pick up a bootleg game, you had to have your system modded to take up the game. Mm-hmm. And you could teach yourself how to mod, or you could take it to a guy and the guy would mod your game. You can get these bootleg games off the flea market. The guy had them in his jacket or wherever out of his car. And you'd have the latest in Madden, you'd have the latest in Call of Duty, you'd have the latest in all the games. You put them in, you play them. Mm-hmm. Now... but what would happen is, after a while, the drive would have to be replaced. So something in the motor where you put in the discs, you'd have to replace it, or you'd have your disc would get scratched up, so you'd have to go buy another disc. So Microsoft and PS5 moved to a digital market. You could buy two game systems. The PS4 has a digital game system, but it also has the inlet of the actual game. Whereas Xbox Series X has the game, but the Series S, which is their two new models, one's digital and one's strictly digital, and one is both. So when you look at that, a lot of people are like, you know, why would I do this? I'm not going to keep the game forever. And after a while, they lose value. You know, you can kind of sell them back and go back, but nobody's doing that anymore.
Well, the other part is that apparently, from what I understand, like what my dentist said today was you can do all the investing in stocks that you want to, and then you can get a monkey to throw a dart, and you guys have equal chances of picking a successful stock. So that's what he said to me today. But apparently, though, GameStop has converted to a more online platform or online profile, and so what they're charging, what they're saying is that the market manipulation is what has actually also undervalued the stock, which is why they rallied behind GameStop.
So GameStop, Blockbuster, these are some of the ones that were driven down last week.
AMC,
Blockbuster, AMC, and
Nokia.
There's one more. Nokia, there we go. Mm-hmm. And Nokia, a lot of us didn't even know Nokia was selling phones. You know, it was like, really, you're still.
I didn't know Nokia was still selling stock.
And then you had GameStop. So really a lot of these, the little guy had a chance. The little guy meaning you and me from home, from our trade. We had a chance to, you know, move up in the world a little bit, and they kind of drove it down secretly, and then you could have jumped on there and, you know, kind of made some money with the big guys. But then what happened was
they blocked you.
They blocked the little guys from selling, from buying. Sorry, buying. And then now you came in, you could buy maybe two. You couldn't buy more than that. They're limited on how much you could buy, and then that became an issue in the end. So
happening.
That's our stock market.
That is what has been happening. Just in case you guys wondered.
That's what's been happening on the market.
Okay.
But we ready for next time. We ready. So it's gonna happen. Also on the scroll, we've had quite a few things. There's been an Instagram influx of things, especially since we are at home and quarantining all around the world. Many people have gone to Instagram to fulfill different challenges, from the cinnamon challenge right down to the busset challenge.
Are they doing the cinnamon challenge again / still?
A lot of people do a lot of the challenges, especially the dangerous ones. Yeah. Right. Then you have the silhouette challenge. Right, which is the latest challenge that is on there. The busted challenge and the silhouette challenge are more dance related,
provocative,
and very provocative. The silhouette challenge is not really dance related; it's just provocative. So basically, it's the busted challenge is you see a woman or a dude. I guess I don't know how many dudes have done the busted challenge, but you see a woman.
You just might not be on that part of the internet.
In her regular clothes, true. In her regular clothes, almost ready for bed, maybe just woke up, bonnet on her head, oversized t-shirt, and then once the music comes on, once it reaches to the drop of the music, they drop down and they're in some of their more sexier outfits and doing the chant and bouncing.
From Soca Fit. If you go to Soca Fit, at Soca Fit on IG, you'll see her do it there.
So you could, Sherelle did the challenge. The silhouette challenge is very similar. You have the music playing, you have the oversized t-shirt and the bonnet, and it looked like you're getting ready to bed, glasses for some people, and then next the lights turn out and there's a red or blue light in the background, so you can only see the silhouette of the person, and they're doing sexy poses there with the silhouette, and the silhouette looks like they may or may not have clothes on. It's just a silhouette. So this has been happening. So Chloe Bailey, some people know Chloe and Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey is supposed to be scheduled by Disney to play the new Little Mermaid. She's playing Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and she, as a black young lady, is going to be playing the Little Mermaid, which has caused a lot of controversy for a lot of people who felt that a mermaid in the Caribbean in the hot sun should be a white redhead.
That's
which
weird.
Sure, man, that's how it was in the movie. Right?
Well, yeah, and also if we were like think about the science of mermaids, like, has anybody ever gone into the water, into the Caribbean? You come out darker. Like, you go into the water, you come out darker. So
Aisha says, I like it when they wig fall off in the Soca challenge. That happens a lot. Even Tiffany Haddish did one where Common comes out, who she's currently dating Common. He comes out and he kisses her and he takes her wig off. He throws it on the ground and she's like, "Okay, all right, this is what we doing." And I thought it was funny because I didn't know if they were still dating because Common seems to be that guy. But anyways,
I thought about doing it.
Okay, all right, get them likes up. So Chloe
we'll get more follows.
Okay.
On Black Multiverse.
Please
it's time for
do
me.
not put it.
It's time for me to start making my way.
Put an aphrodisiac.
It'll be on the Black Multiverse. It is not appropriate for aphrodisiac.
What are you talking about? It's perfect for
aphrodisiac. No.
That girl, you should know that.
No. Black Multiverse.
So it'll get us lots of followers.
I'm just saying that we have to just maybe
Sure, man.
Just kidding, you guys.
So Chloe ended up doing both challenges. She's a young lady who's in shape and is on Grownish. She currently, they used to have their Instagram together, so you used to say Chloe and Haley Bailey, which is their last name, and they sing together. So they have an album that just came out and stuff like that. And then after that,
Beyonce signed them.
Yeah, Beyonce
or produces them or something. She's behind there.
She's right in there, and she's in there. And they sound amazing.
They are.
The two ladies
vocally very talented.
Sound amazing.
And very beautiful girls.
Yeah. So they decided to have separate Instagrams now, especially since Haley's going to be doing her thing, and now Chloe's doing her thing. So Chloe's there and she's doing her thing, and people are saying, okay, well, you've done these two challenges. Now you are trying to get attention and get follows. So
can a girl live?
So she was like very upset about it, and she tried to tell everybody, I didn't see myself as a sexual being.
No, as a sex symbol.
She said both, but it's okay. So as a sex symbol, so because she didn't see herself in that light, she didn't feel like it was a problem. But there's a lot of people who disagree with her. I'm one of the people included that doesn't really agree that she didn't know that she was a sex symbol because of who she is, what she does, her music, her role in Grownish. She's got to have tons of mail that comes in, emails, Instagram. As soon as she had her own following, it zoomed up into hundreds of thousands, and then before she knew it, when she did her Busted challenge, it jumped up. It's because Beyonce actually promoted them, they jumped into the millions. And, she's got even more followers since she's been doing the challenge. So I'm like, oh, yeah, you definitely are. This is strange. What was funny to me was one of the comedians, Ryan Davis, he kind of profiled it. And she said, over the summer, she, found God. And she's, Jesus has brought her far. And she had a divine and close relationship with God. And that enabled her to be where she is right now. And then the guy played the Busted challenge. He said, well, you can find God, but you can't say you're not a sex symbol as well. So it's just one of those things that happen on the scroll, and everybody has their own opinion on it. But I feel for sure that she should now, if she hasn't considered herself that way, she should see that she is definitely looked at in that light by a lot of people, both male and female.
I think my personal opinion is that I can understand how she can be sexy to us and do sexy things, but at the same time, she's a young woman doing the popular things, like the Buster Challenge. All the challenges are popular. I also think that kind of who cares? She should be able to do whatever she wants, and it shouldn't. I'm not sure it should be a scandal. You know what I mean? That's the part I don't get. I don't necessarily understand why it's a scandal, but it's a scandal because people came to shame her on her page or whatever, and that's really the I feel like that's really the bullshit of the whole situation. Whether or not she sees herself as a sex symbol, or she or she found Jesus and whatever, if that's incongruent with what you're perceiving as her actions were, I'm not even sure. My thing is why did people go and do all this crazy shaming on her page for a couple challenges? And it's just I don't know, it feels just more oppression, sexual oppression on the girl.
I feel like in the light of who she is, because I've seen all the other back actresses that are out there that are young right now, from Nafessa Williams from Black Lightning to Candice Patton, who plays Iris West on The Flash. All of them have had serious problems with black people in the media. They've had problems. Even her own sister have had problems with, people talking about them. And they have a choice when they see it, because there's so many millions of people and everybody has an opinion, and just like bumholes, some of these opinions, everybody's got one, and some of them stink. It's just what it is.
Yeah, it sucks that they made that girl cry too. At the end of the day, she was answering the situation because she felt attacked and felt hurt, and it just sucks that it feels yucky. It feels shame on all of you.
I feel like at some point she's gonna have to just start ignoring them. She'll have to
she's gonna have to get to that
she'll
point.
Have to just start at some point. She's still young, so she's going through, and she's oh, everybody likes it, and then when she sees something negative, she's oh no,
nobody likes me. And I get it,
but she's
still young. I'm 38 years old. I'm dealing with that.
she's still dealing with having people who like her from who don't like her.
Yeah, girl. Me too, girl.
There's so wow. Okay, there we go.
Wow, that was very bassy.
I didn't turn around my mic like I usually do.
Uh-huh.
But that's our scroll. That's the topics on the scroll right now.
There was two big things this week.
Two big things that hit the airways.
We had R.I.P. Cicely Tyson. Cicely
Tyson, yeah.
That was a rough one.
Yeah.
Also Singing Sandra, Calypso legend.
Yeah, she
also R.I.P.
She passed, yeah.
Also, there's two new strains of COVID.
Mm-hmm, yeah. We talked about that, yeah.
And this South African one has gotten to the United States now, so they're dealing with that.
Yeah, the two new strains have been they're more contagious and they are more volatile, and it has been, it already crossed over into England and also the United States. And then the vaccine, when applied to a good portion of people, has led to Bell's palsy. So that's where
but not more than they expected.
Not more. They're trying to work on it.
So far, the right about.
And just so that everybody knows, listen, taking the vaccine is not a cure.
It's not.
It's not. It's not a cure at all for it. It is what it is right now. So that is it. That is it.
Are we gonna do the snacks? What do you want to do? Or you want to move on to the screen?
We should check out the snacks now.
Okay, here's what happened, you guys. I bought a whole bunch of snacks from the South African spot called Serengeti. It's on the south side, not too far from Duggan, the neighborhood of Duggan. And so this South African, first and foremost, apparently I was so sure it was black South Africans, but it wasn't. So this store I went in and I just like picked up a bunch of seasonings, but also picked up a bunch of snacks. And I brought the snacks here and I was like, hey, to my South African clients, we're going to try these snacks on the air. What do you think of these snacks? What are your favorites? I'm showing them the snacks.
Blix.
These ladies were like, oh, those are not authentic. I'm like, what do you mean they're not authentic? I bought it from the South African store. They're like, oh no, black people don't eat that in South Africa. I'm like, does that make them not authentic? Yes, it does. So here are some non-authentic. A few have been verified as official South African snacks, all from South African, but only a few verified as the black people eat it. Not okay. So
this one here
is a non-verified snack.
I'm going to hold up the non-verified ones. This one's called Mini Cheddars.
Yes.
It's a fruit chutney flavored snack. Cheesy cheddar snack. So it's fruit chutney with cheesy cheddar. Yum.
And my clients are like, no, we don't eat crackers like that.
So somebody does.
Yes. Somebody in South Africa.
Yeah, somebody in South Africa eats it. Yeah, I'm just looking at some of the stuff. Yeah, this is produced in the Republic of South Africa.
Yeah.
So it's good. So this one is good. I always have to read some of the ingredients because... just in case they were made with or around peanuts. Right. Well, not peanuts, but every other nut than peanuts.
Oh, every other nut other than peanuts and almonds. Is it almonds as well?
Yes, other than peanuts and
almonds.
Than
peanuts and almonds.
This one here is also Mini Cheddars.
Yes, which is another unverified snack.
It is cheese flavored. In instead of chutney flavor. Fruit chutney. So that's that.
What else do you have?
We have Maynards, which everybody knows about Maynards.
I feel like these will be like wine gums. These were partially verified in terms of things we don't eat every day, but we sometimes get a handle on.
Ice cream mallow gums.
So these are supposed to be, I guess, like marshmallow type of flavoring?
Made with fruit juice.
Oh, fruit juice.
Yeah, it's made with real fruit juice.
Okay.
But then when you read what it's made of, there's grape juice from concentrate.
Yes.
There's a glazing agent.
Obviously.
Water.
Yes.
Glucose syrup. Sugar. And colorants.
Which is a very short list for candy.
May contain peanuts and cow's milk. Okay. Then we have...
These are also Maynards. This one was the ice cream mallow gums. Now, I expect the ice cream mallow gums to taste like the white part of that frog, or the white part of the egg, or the white part of the whale. Those of you who are candy eaters will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all know what this is.
This one is fruit pastilles.
Yeah.
I feel like these are going to be like gums. Like jujubes almost.
Jujubes? I feel like they're going to be like wine gums.
Right. Oh, we have more. Sorry. One down here. This is cheese and onion. So this is another cracker snack. This is also unverified. This is unverified. This is mini cheddars again.
Correct.
We have a box of...
Eat some more. Now, these have been partially verified because they are verified, as in yes, that they do get them, but they get these particularly around Christmas time.
So these are made by bakers. So mini cheddars.
Yes.
All the mini cheddar packs
Also made by bakers.
are all made by bakers.
Now, this is a fully verified snack. It's coming up right here.
This one is the fully verified
snack.
It's called
Knickknacks. And if you can see, there is a South African lady.
There is.
Right there up on the side.
She is very black.
She's not. She's like Trevor Noah's color.
She's black.
Oh, she's Trevor Noah's color. She has locks, though.
She does have locks and big glasses. But these are original cheese flavor.
These are the Knickknacks, and these are amazing. I expect these to taste like corn chips.
So, we are going to try. Which one? First, you pick.
Oh, guys, I've been looking at these snacks for a long time. I'm going to go with the ice cream mallows. I was going to ask people to tell me, but then I'm like, nobody is invested in this.
Is there anybody?
No, we're just eating to an empty camera. No, I'm just kidding. There's 4 people on.
Okay.
Is it
it looks like it's shaped like an ice cream. It smells very, very creamy. It's a very creamy type of.
Ooh, it's very fragrant, actually.
Yeah, it's like plastic.
You notice, like, the peanuts. You know those orange peanut colored? It's exactly what it's like. I'll have a no thanks on the rest of that. Give it to Sanaya.
That is a yak for me.
Do not recommend.
The reason why it's a yak for me is because it is very plastic.
It doesn't break down in your mouth at all.
But it tastes like plastic. Like it literally tastes.
It tastes like soap gum.
It tastes like a plastic toy with sugar in it.
It's true.
All right.
Let's get the Maynards out of the way then.
Maynard, next one.
Pastilles.
These are the pastilles. Here. This one is orange.
You know, these are like those sun-kissed fruits that you get individually wrapped in packages. They're like sugar coated on the outside, but then they're like smooth gummy on the inside.
These are like jujubes.
They're like jujubes,
but hard. Like they came from South Africa. On a boat.
Jujubes with the background.
They've been sitting there on the boat waiting for us for a long time.
Okay, Maynards.
Okay.
They're kind of like wine gums, honestly, the texture. In terms of being like resistant.
Well, they are. Ronald's laughing. Ronald, do you know any of these snacks, Ronald?
No, Ronald needs to bring us snacks from
Cameroon?
Yeah. So we can continue to do this.
Ronald, do you know any of these snacks I'm eating? Okay, this next one, we're going to go to the baker's. We're going to do a baker's double.
We're going to run through these?
Let's run through the chutney one.
All right.
Let's do a chutney. Chutney said, okay.
Ronald said, okay.
He'll bring
So we will be having Cameroon snacks on. This is South African Snacks Part 1. A friend of the show's bought a bunch of snacks from... Oh, these are just crackers. Oh, they're like...
Okay. These are not bad. These are like they're like those crackers that you get, Ritz crackers, the little mini ones. They're a little bit bigger, but they have that texture.
They're baked, not fried. They taste like...
They got something going.
Sour cream and onion type?
They do. They have a sour cream and onion taste. It's supposed to be fruit chutney, though.
These are the cheese flavored crackers. Which?
So for me, the cheese flavored crackers taste like just regular plain crackers.
Pretty much tastes like Ritz.
Okay. Here are the cheese and onion flavor. These are the more like.
Wow. This is very onion.
Very onion.
This is like food. Like, you know when you're actually hungry, but all you get is a snack? This is it.
This is it. This is what you want.
Okay.
Okay. Knickknacks, or do you want to eat some more?
I can appreciate. I don't want to eat anymore. I'm just kidding. I can appreciate that those were not like from the black side of the tracks.
What we did not show you is there were some Cadbury.
Oh, I ran through those.
Yes. Chocolate. They're chocolate covered
shortbread.
Shortbread.
It was good. Let's do the eat some more, or maybe the knickknacks, because the eat some more is like dessert.
Okay.
These are the knickknacks, and these are the ones that have.
Oh, they're cheesies.
Oh, we know this. We know this thing.
They're cheesies. They're definitely brought back a bunch of memories from England. Like a bunch of memories.
They're cheesies, but a little bit different somehow.
This tastes like cheesies from Europe. Bad.
Yeah.
Like as soon as I tasted it, I was like, oh, I remember when Mom and I went to England.
Daz is laughing because I was like, wow, this is like food. As I eat it. Yes, Daz. It tastes like cooked food, I mean.
Okay, here's the shortbread.
What was your favorite of these?
What?
What was your favorite of these?
You haven't eaten this last one yet.
Well, it's shortbread.
Well, let's find out if it's my favorite.
Okay. I mean, of the rest of them, I feel like the shortbread is.
I like the onion one. I like the one with the potent onion taste.
I feel like if you're in a jam and you need some food, but you don't have food,
yeah,
that one will rock.
This is gonna be the lick right here. Okay, eat some more. So eat some more is spelled EET-SUM-MOR.
This is ASMR. There's a whole group of people who be like, this is good. This podcast is getting good.
This reminds me of
exactly.
England.
No, this tastes exactly like the Royal Dance butter cookies.
Yes. But
like,
not as hard.
Not as hard, but the same like flavors.
Yeah. Like this is, you get some tea, you get some orange pico tea, you get a little bit of sugar in there, you get a little cream, and you drink your tea, and you have this before bed, and you're like, let me get a little cookies and tea. This is what this is about.
A little salty, a little sweet. It's like salty and sweet in one cookie.
So I gotta tell you,
This is your favorite?
this is the favorite.
But shortbread cookies always they hit every time.
They hit all the time. They slap.
Okay. So next week we're gonna have the real South African snacks. Nigel,
food is food. The funny thing about Ronald is Ronald says that to me all the time when we're working. Is it normal to eat room temperature salsa?
I think so. And I'll tell you why. So. Yeah, because salsa comes from a hot place, and likely they're not pulling it out of the fridge. If you're making fresh salsa, everything is going to be warm off a tree. So I would say yes, room temperature salsa.
I think for us who live in like
room temperature salsa.
For us who live in Canada, I feel like it is normal for us to eat cold salsa.
Okay. Is it normal? Is the problem here? Because in Canada, it's probably normal to eat cold salsa. But no, because if I go to like a restaurant if I go to a restaurant.
She's having a debate right now in the house.
But if I go to a restaurant, the salsa they serve is not cold.
If you go to a restaurant, depends on the restaurant.
If I go to a Mexican restaurant where they're serving salsa in the beginning, the salsa is not cold.
Here's the thing. You read that bottle, just like the ketchup bottle, and I know a lot of people are going to get me for this ketchup bottle business. Once you open the ketchup bottle, right? The ketchup bottle says once it is open, it must be refrigerated. So when you're serving your salsa, yes, your salsa is going to go up to room temperature because most people put out their salsa right at the beginning of the party.
Sure. And
with the chips.
And if you're a really salsa connoisseur, you're probably warming it up a little bit and adding cheese anyway. And if you're not doing that...
That's deep.
If you're not doing that, just leave the tomatoes in the fridge.
I'm just saying. All right, cool.
I like to pick up my salsa and then there to be strings of cheddar cheese coming out.
Interesting. I do not like any of the salsa going back into the bowl.
You're just like a clean break.
Yeah, I just wanted to go in there. I don't like to see because a lot of people who eat the salsa right off the bat. A lot of people who eat the salsa are people from work. They're people, you have a party and you have people over. You don't know where they've been or what happened. And in these COVID times, we're realizing that a lot of people haven't been washing their hands. We realize this. It's a problem.
I've actually had people who were talking about their labs and stuff and having, like, people who were having complaints of, like, sore and, like, peeling of their hands because they're overwashing. Not overwashing, washing.
Christine, you're 100% correct. But in my house, and as long as I'm around, if you dump out the salsa and the chips are made as a snack before whatever you're gonna do later. It's the beginner, it's the appetizer. And I'm never putting salsa back into the bottle.
No.
And I'm never using the whole bottle because it's just a quick appetizer.
Salsa at the grocery store is on the shelf. So it's not like you take it off the shelf and then refrigerate it and then serve it.
As I said, when you're at a party, I don't put out all the salsa at once. I don't.
So the rest of it goes into the fridge. So the rest
of it goes into the fridge, like she's saying. Because
you need to do,
you couldn't finish the bottle, so you put that in the fridge, and then when you eat it again, it's cold. So it's normal for me to eat it. And also, I don't mind cold vegetables. I just don't mind it.
I don't love cold vegetables myself.
So, especially tomatoes. Cold tomatoes are all right for me. But I can't complain with Nilo's. I'm not saying Nilo's wrong. Room temperature salsa to me tastes just as good as cold salsa. It's not like I prefer it. It's just whether it's normal or not, which is the question.
Cold salsa reminds me of gazpacho. So I like gazpacho. I don't like cold salsa.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to the screen. Now that we've got our snacks and we ate them, the ASMR has been done. Yes, she's giving us the last tidbits of that. On the screen. So this week on the screen, we jumped into and finished off a couple of them, right?
What did we finish?
What's Natasha saying? New here. She's new here. Sidebar. I'm coming to test that.
Oh, T-Fit. This month, Sarah Bush. No, she's our co-host. You cannot.
She's coming to T-Fit. Yes. No, Natasha, you cannot take.
She's not going anywhere.
You cannot take this lovely beauty here.
Yeah. She's even waving. I don't know why this.
I'm so happy you're black. Darren, thanks for letting us know you're black, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you being black.
It is black.
Brother.
It is Black History Month.
It is Black History Month, brother.
So happy Black History Month, everybody.
Nice. Yeah, Natasha, we don't give away this stuff.
We don't give away each other.
Yes,
I can't give away Nigel. Nigel can't give me away. We cannot give
away each.
This is a growing person.
This is a lovely plan.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So on the screen, what have we finished? Have we wrapped?
Right.
Oh,
so that's where we were. We wrapped up. Wrapped up all of Discovery.
That was weeks ago.
Weeks ago, we wrapped up all of Discovery. We wrapped up the Tick.
We wrapped that up. I think we have more Tick left.
I'm pretty sure we wrapped up the Tick.
Okay. We may or may not have wrapped up the Tick.
We may or may not have wrapped it up. We'll see.
Oh, yeah, we did wrap it up.
We wrapped up
Season 2.
What I thought we wrapped up, because we started on The Warrior.
We also started on The Warrior, which is on HBO.
We did talk about that last week, about how all the white people are getting beat up on The Warrior.
It's really a wonderful show for lots of reasons.
There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it's well done.
And I stopped after season 1. I didn't even know season 2 came. So season 2 is what we're on right now.
If you like kung fu movies and fighting movies, you'll definitely like this one.
It is great.
Also, if you like gory-ness, I'm not a fan, but this is like pretty gory. It's HBO, so you know they don't spare. And the shots are really nice. The cinematography is well done.
It's done in a very because if you watch original kickers or original kung fu movies, like early Jackie Chan and early Jet Li, whenever they got cut, there was blood. They had blood to spare, right? They had lots of blood. So in this one, most of the blood that you see, the gore, is digital. It's not actual blood, but it seems like it's real. So it's really cool to watch all the stuff. Bolo Young is good. Sammo Hung. Yeah, so a lot of these are, the originals, man. Chow Yun Fat. Yeah, you're right. All these. Look, he's pulling out all the stops here.
He's reminiscent of Bruce Lee. He does all Bruce Lee. It's from the writings of Bruce Lee, which we did talk about. But he does a lot of
kung fu. Yeah, yeah.
He does a lot of Bruce Lee moves and stuff.
Oh man, the shows I used to watch, Chinese Connection, all these different
Drunken Master, Ip Man, 1, 2, and 3.
The 5 deadly. I think it's the 5 deadly fists.
I think so.
Oh man, some of them are amazing.
Ip Man.
Yeah, or IP Man, as somebody call it. Some people.
Oh, really?
A lot of people call it that. Yeah.
IP Man.
IP Man. The Wu-Tang, have done a lot. Fist of Fury was amazing. Every time he tries to change furry, it says furt. So
speaking of kung fu, I also fulfilled some of my promise and continued watching Cobra Kai. So I was able to watch another
couple of episodes, 3 or 4,
maybe 3 or 4 episodes, and I hate everybody in the show. Like all of the characters, I'm like, who's this guy? Like literally everybody. And I think my favorite characters are like the grandmother, maybe the kid, and I don't even know who else, honestly.
The thing about Cobra Kai, which I love about Cobra Kai, is you go from Karate Kid, where you realize, okay, the bad guy is the blonde guy, the good guy is Danielson, and Mr. Miyagi. But then when you look at the situation, Daniel went after Cobra Kai guy Johnny. He went after Johnny's girl, and they really harp on that point that Danielson is not the good guy. He's not necessarily a good guy.
It was a YouTube video. It was a YouTube video. I think I said it was a Twitter thread where they go through the different parts and they show you. And this video happened, or I shouldn't say it happened. I saw it, before I ever saw Cobra Kai, and then Cobra Kai came out. So
yeah. So with you finding out who's who and what's going on with all the situation, you realize that Daniel's
a douche.
Daniel's not necessarily a good guy,
He's
but
not
then
a good guy.
But the greatest part about Cobra Kai is it really harps on yin and yang, where in every bad there's good and a little good, and every good there's a little bit of bad, and you get to see that each could change to become one and the same, and one can't live without the other.
Right.
So it's great as the show changes, more bad people come in and more
like the real bad guys come in.
Yeah, you get to see who's really, really bad from who's really, really good, and then you know, it's just like Maleficent. You know, when you watch Maleficent, for years we were talking about Sleeping Beauty. We see this evil witch who gives her the apple, and she falls asleep, and she's mean. They run her off of a cliff, and she dies. Right. And you're like, oh, she's the bad guy, and then they bring out Maleficent, the movie, and you realize, she took care of all the animals, and she was so nice. And then they ripped her wigs off. Yeah. They came in, they were afraid of her, ripped her wigs off, and that's why she got revenge. Now she's the hero, and she was the villain the whole time in your life. True. So it's all about perception. And I think it leads us to even the word of the day, which is, don't judge a book by its cover.
Okay. This is going to be the word?
That's what the word of the day is.
Oh. Okay, you ready? That's it?
Did we put the word? You want me to put the word out already?
No problem. That's what we're going for.
We got the word out? We put the word out?
Okay.
The word of the day is, don't judge a book by its cover. You never know why a person acts the way they do, and sometimes people are acting out because they don't know how to act any better.
A million reasons.
Or B, they are who they are. Sometimes the book is what it is, but until you read said book, you're not going to know, what's going on or what the situation is. I used to buy album covers or albums by the cover. If the person if it was a nice album cover, it was really nice. If it was a gospel cover and the guy had his hands like this and he's looking up to the sky, I might with the light, and he's praying. Kirk Franklin had about two of these. I bought both of those albums. And then you go in, you don't know.
They were fire.
Yeah, they were fire.
They were.
But I wouldn't know that until I heard the tracks on there. Sometimes the album cover is killer, and then inside,
no good.
The music.
I can't tell you any of those albums, but I'm sure it exists.
But in R&B music, it's a little bit different. It's just mainly a sexy cover, and then once you get into the songs, you realize, wow, this person's screaming the whole time. Which a lot of Mary J. Blige's early albums, people were more interested in her vocal prowess, and a lot of people, critics especially, said that she's not really a great singer. She's a screamer.
Hard disagree.
And then she took the money she made from all the albums she sold and took vocal lessons and became a really good singer in the end. She wasn't that bad, but most of the songs that we relate to is not because of her vocal prowess. Really,
you're not wrong.
It's because of the lyrics behind
But Mary J. Blige knew before Drake and before everybody else that all we want is somebody we can sing to. And with. She walked so that Rihanna could run.
What's the 411 was dope. It was. And it was dope for many, many reasons, man.
Yeah.
She's not a dancer though.
She dances now.
I beg to differ.
She got the hot.
She got that thing, man. You gotta, you got that.
That's her move.
But here's the new thing: she's dipped into acting. She was in the show that we watched.
Yeah, she was in that show.
With the
she's always a social worker. Yeah.
Yeah, what's a social worker? No, the one where she was coming after the kids to kill them.
What was that? She was killing the children? Oh, Happy?
No.
What was it?
Happy? No.
Oh yeah, she was the bad guy trying to murder the children.
It was the one where they went. The kid went back in time. They all have powers of some sort. The Umbrella Academy.
There it was.
The Umbrella Academy. She was on there. She was great on the Umbrella Academy.
I do.
She was.
But
great.
I love Miss Mary. She's beautiful. I think
Miss
she just
Mary.
turned 50 the other day.
Yeah, Miss Mary's.
She's
doing her thing. She's working out.
Her Instagram was fire.
Yeah, she does her thing. So.
She's got some new door knocker brand out. Like somebody is like using her to sell these door knocker earrings. I already checked out the pricing. I'm gonna get a set. They're like gold plated silver door knockers.
Yeah. So these are the things that are happening.
That's it
in the world. What else did we watch?
You did the. Oh, I thought you were. I thought that was the word, and then I was like, oh, I guess we're ending early.
No, but that was the word. But we can go back to where we were doing the.
That was the word, but also upcoming events.
We have quite a few upcoming events.
What are you listening to?
Right now, right now, what I'm listening to is straight Joe. I went back to the original Joe from 6th Street. That Joe.
Okay.
You know, and Joe, people are like, which Joe are you talking about? I want to know. I'd like to know what turns you on.
Yep. Classic.
So I can be all that and more. I'd like to know.
Yes, sir.
He said Joe from 3rd Street?
Yes. Same Joe.
Yeah.
I obviously am listening to mucho soca. It's just been soca for me.
I was like, oh.
The thing that I like and love. The thing I like and love about soca is that, like, whatever's happening right now, soca is like giving you the soundtrack. So you're at home dancing in front of your camera, tilt the camera. If you are like, call the Uber now, we're coming through now. Like, I'm pretty much up on everything now, and so I like to listen to everything through and thoroughly before I move over to DJ Jel, who also has a new Soca Switch 2021 mix out. So I've been listening to that Soca Switch 2021, and it's excellent. Yeah. Tingle nice again. Tingle nice again.
What's her name? That's a song that comes first on your list.
Patrice?
I think it's
Carry On.
Carry On.
Carry on, baby. That was 2020 though.
Was it?
Carry On. Yeah. Patrice has a lot of like Afrobeat sounding songs.
I like 21. That song. Carry On is nice.
Yeah, carry on, carry on. And you know what song didn't have its summer? The Eyes of Madman. I feel bad for that guy because that was, there's like a one hit like.
Yeah, and that would have been
a hit. And we juking out together, and we juke. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm sure that it'll go. Like continue because we haven't had a carnival to like hash out those songs yet.
Well, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. So upcoming events.
So everybody be on the lookout because it looks like Gospel Night is still in the works.
On and
this is from me to you, from my mouth to your ears. People are still in the background trying to pull off a gospel night.
Do it.
And if they do, yours truly will be in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So keep your eye out.
Keep your eyes and ears.
Keep your eyes and ears out for something digital sounding. And if it happens, support the people that are out there. What did
he's talking about ballads, but ain't nobody talking about ballads out here.
So
we take knees for ballads. We don't do that. We don't do that here.
So
talking about gospel concert.
There's gospel concert coming out. There is We Lit.
actually, right before we lit, we do have the Family Day event from 11:30 to noon, which is the Harriet's Tremendous Day book launch and reading. We kind of have to I think we have a pending meeting on that. And after that, we have We Lit, which is March 4th. This is the part 1 of We Lit. We're going to have a 2-part We Lit this series. So this is going to be our web version, our web series only. And then in the summertime, we're going to have a live We Lit version coming to you in Calgary, actually. So, so Natasha, we'll see you out there. I'll probably enlist your help. But we will be out there in July for the in-person We Lit. And We Lit, if you guys don't know, is a celebration of Afro independent authors, and we try to gather them together and have an event. Calgary Library, Calgary Public is really up on it this year as well. So we are looking forward to that. So part 1 is going to be in March. We're going to announce next week our special guests and start announcing our authors then as well. And it'll be available it'll be pretty much a big Zoom call where we'll be able to have conversations and listen to the authors, do their presentations and talk about their novels, ask any questions, and really have a roundtable discussion about self-publishing and being Black in publishing, being Black, being a freelance writer, and then also self-publishing your own material. So also tomorrow I will be on the Calgary Public Library Instagram doing interview live. It's a takeover.
So we're gonna take over the Calgary Public Library Instagram. It'll be about noonish.
Talk a lot about Harriet. I'll give you some Harriets to just put there right beside you.
Right.
Oh.
So I'll do.
Sorry, I'll just put it right beside you. If it's gonna be on, we'll set a setup where it's there's books all around you.
Yeah, I'm bathing in books.
Oh, hello! I didn't see you there. And then you close the big book.
Close. Harriet, I was reading these children's books.
No, you have to close a big book, but beside you will be a stack of books with Harriet.
I was just enlightening myself.
I was reading this dictionary, but I display this children's book.
This children's book is one of my favorite.
We're gonna work it in somehow.
Literary works. So so we have that. We definitely have a lot coming up in the future when it comes to what we are able to do digitally and how we're doing things digitally. So stay tuned to the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We're going to take you to the next level.
The next level.
And we're going to have some, pretty soon here, we're going to have some Black Multiverse Theory merch, which you can help us out.
Actually, we'll talk. If you're in the group, we'll talk also.
Yeah, we'll talk.
I guess that's it.
So there you go. So I've already given the word. The word for the day, for those who missed it, was don't judge a book by its cover. And really, by judging a book by its cover, you are not able to see the potential. And that goes for everything. That just doesn't go for just people, but it goes
also books.
It goes for books, but it also goes for ideas, right?
Yeah.
So ideas, when you first look at an idea, sometimes what we are quick to do is discredit the idea based off of what we think that we can do with an idea like that. And in the hands of somebody else, it may go further, and even in the hands of yourself, it may be easier than you think. One time when we were trying to do the Afro market, we wanted to have music playing, but we were afraid of copyright infringement laws. We were afraid of licensing. It wasn't until we researched that the license only cost $15, so just a fraction, a happy meal to get things going and to get things running, right? So when we judged it based off of our own perception of what it could be, we realized that it's
there's a way to get out of it, around it.
Yeah.
And through it.
So be very diligent. Don't judge a book by its cover, and let's make it through the next.
And that is people and situations and problems and also books.
And books.
Thanks for joining us, you guys.
This was also Melanistic Magazine will be out pretty soon. Volume 5, Season 2 starts. Volume 5 with a stellar cover. Everybody go to your local distributor. Get a copy of this. If you are looking to advertise in Melanistic Magazine, please pick yourself up a copy. Our sales representative is there to facilitate that and make that an easy transition for you. Get your business out there.
Yeah.
Let's see your black-owned business. Let's see it flourish. This goes out. We print off thousands of copies, so lots of people are getting it. And guess what? We are branching out. We're branching out.
We
like
are.
crazy.
This is the first time we're in Winnipeg, so we're in 3 cities now. So we are in Edmonton, we're in Calgary, we're also in Winnipeg. So also, if you own a black-owned business, if you have your own company, yes. But additionally, if you work for a company, if you work for a big business, you can do it one or two ways. You can go to your company and be like, hey, Paul, I think that it would be really great for us to get an ad in this magazine. It shows that we're supporting independent movie businesses and media, and also helps to get to a targeted audience. Or you can be like, hey, guys, here, people at Melanistic,
Keep talking.
Hey, people at Melanistic, here's John's email, john@advertising@mycompany.com, and we can do the legwork. We don't even have to tell them that you slid us the info. So,
boom.
Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like us, share this if it was your thing, and of course, tune in next week and let us continue on this conversation. Thank you for joining us for episode 86. Is it 86?
Yeah.
Of the Black Multiverse Theory podcast. We will see you again next week, as always. Good night.
Good night.